So a BBSE is a bull breeding soundness examination that's conducted by an accredited veterinarian that's used to assess a bull's fertility. It's important to measure your bull's fertility to ensure that he's sound and able to join cows efficiently when you put him out with them at the start of the joining season. The more cows that you can get in calf at the start of the joining season then results in them being earlier, so they have more of a chance of going back in calf next year, and often results in having more calves on the ground, so better profitability for the business. Bull's conformation should be assessed, but it shouldn't be the sole assessment that's completed. A fertility test should be completed as well to ensure that his semen's right and that he's able to get cows in calf. A BBSE should be conducted particularly on sale bulls. They should be tested before you purchase them, and your herd bulls should be also tested a minimum of 60 days before breeding season so that you have enough time to retest those bulls if they haven't passed on their first go, and it's also important to be able to give you time to purchase other bulls if you need replacements. The Australian Cattle Veterinarians Bull Check is performed by accredited veterinarians, and we have to undergo further training and examination to ensure that we're capable and everyone's to a set standard of performing those examinations. The 5 components to a bull breeding soundness exam is a physical examination, a morphology test, a motility test, serving capacity test, and finally a scrotal circumference measurement. Generally, you start the physical exam by having a look at the bull in the race and examining his joints, his feet, and making sure that he's sound, having a look right around the bull, checking that his eyes and his head's okay, and then also having a look at his sheath and prepuce and making sure that there's no abnormalities. So some abnormalities that a bull could have, example is scissor claw in their feet or an intradigital fibroma. When the bull comes into the crush, then I'll examine the upper reproductive tract, which is the prostate, the ampullae and the seminal vesicles, just to make sure that there's no abscesses or anything like that in there. I'll also do a scrotal circumference where you measure the diameter around the greatest part of the testicles. The scrotal circumference and tone is important because it's highly correlated to fertility, which is often passed on to their heifers as well. Libido and mating ability are generally tested in Bos Taurus bulls because Bos Indicus bulls often won't jump onto a restrained cow. It's used to evaluate if a bull's able to complete 2 successful serves. There are definitely instances where a bull, although he's got perfect conformation, he can still fail his serving capacity test. Sometimes they get penile issues where they can't extrude their penis properly, so you're unable to detect that unless you see him serve a cow. To assess semen quality, I'll do a crush side test, assessing the motility, which is the forward progression of the semen, and I give that a percentage out of 100. And I'll also send that semen sample off to an accredited morphology assessor. The morphology is how the sperm is put together, so you're unable to examine crush side. It has to be evaluated on a high power microscope to make sure that there's no defects. Motility is important because the bull needs to have a percentage of progressively motile sperm, because if they are swimming around in circles, then they're unable to go up the reproductive tract and join with the egg to fertilise. Bull breeding soundness examination is just a snapshot in time that guarantees he's fertile on that day. The bull can essentially walk out of the crush and get an injury that will impact on his fertility. Injury and illness, often with spike in temperature, will damage the sperm. So it's not a guarantee for a long period of time, but it is a guarantee that he's right on the day.
So we started doing bull checks about 4 or 5 years ago, I suppose, and originally it was just to ensure that our breeding bulls were fit and ready to work at the start of each breeding season, and secondly to ensure that the bulls we sell as part of our seed stock operation are fit and guaranteed to work for the people that buy them. We've had a few interesting experiences. The first year we did it, it was on the back of a spell of really hot weather, and all the bulls tested up negative, the entire herd, and we thought it was a complete disaster, but knowing what you know now, it's just a snapshot in time, so we retested 2 months later. The majority of the herd passed with flying colours. Yeah, it doesn't always tell you what you want to hear, but it's critical as part of our operations. I'd certainly encourage commercial producers to consider doing it. We wouldn't go back. There's no way of telling a bull's fertility just by looking at him, so the only way to really know is to get in and test him and make sure he's working.